Good morning, everyone. I'm late just to spite you all, just specifically to annoy you all. Welcome to the stream, everyone. My name is Tommo. Hello. I'm buzzing, right? I'm buzzing. You know when you're like certain you've lost something, when you're like, oh, I've looked everywhere, it's definitely gone. Well, I had that this morning with my wallet. And then I just found it. And I'm so happy. I'm like, oh, that feeling, man. Nothing beats that feeling. Honestly, nothing beats that feeling. Especially something like a wallet. You know what I'm saying? But welcome, everyone. Welcome, Mahai, Revolt, CL, Jamie, Berserk, Axel, Will, Fubble, Callum, Markel, Stefan, Max, Kai, Evie, Goey, Bram, Bastian, Quinton, Bobson, Ricardo, Nothing, Will, Thomas, Alex, Dave, Caleb. Welcome, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for joining me for a little stream. I'm not going to waffle too much because I've got a busy day today. And that's why I've done this stream maybe a bit earlier. Also, I do have another video ready, but I think I'm going to put it live tomorrow, actually. I think doing like a live stream and a main video on the same day probably doesn't do too well with the algorithm. So I'm holding off. The video's done, but it's coming out tomorrow. Okay, you're just gonna have to deal with that. It's 3:17, Adrian. Why are you awake at 3:17 in the morning? Come on, sort it out, Adriana. Thank you, Jamie, as well for the 1.99 Aussie dollars. Big up my Australians. Yes, it's race week again. This one's been like, I don't know. This week's kind of flown by. I don't know if it's just for me, but it's absolutely flown by. And yes, Gran Turismo music in the background, of course. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about this weekend's race. This weekend's Mexico Grand Prix. Is it the Mexico City Grand Prix? Because it was the Mexico City Grand Prix last year, wasn't it? Thank you again, Jamie. Hot dog for the sausage dog. Unfortunately, Minton is not here. My mum picked him up because we're going away for the weekend. Nowhere fun, like just to another place in the UK. But I have no Minton. I'm sorry. I do apologise. Sorry, Blake. Sorry, Blake. I know you're buzzing. But yeah, unsub. Fair enough, mate. Fair enough. You know what I mean? Like that's actually, you know, that's reasonable. But yes. So Mexico, altitude. Come on, Checo. Bring it home, mate. Come on, Checo. Oh, God, I wouldn't be able to handle it if Checo won. It would actually be too much. It would actually be too much. But what the altitude does mean, I do wonder, like, Vushu goes down with no Minton. Yeah, you know, it's fair. You know, look, I put him. He's on my profile picture. Like, it's reasonable to expect, you know, the dog to be here every time presenting, and he's not. So you know, that's on me. But yeah, being at altitude means that DRS is less powerful because there's less air, wind resistance. There's less oxygen in the air as well, so it works the engines harder. Typically, from a reliability point of view, we do often see cars going pop, and obviously we're towards the end of the season now, so it would be interesting to want. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a bit of a race of attrition. I'm not gonna lie, but we'll see. And look, obviously, I think we all want a Checo Perez win this weekend. I guess that the you know, just please, Sergio, please. You got on the podium last year. But he didn't win. Max won. Ahead of Lewis, ahead of Checo. Those three were the... because Bottas, unfortunately, he didn't find his way onto the podium too often last year. But to be fair, last year, Bottas... Well, that first lap was like... There was mad damage going on. Was it Bottas got taken out by Ricciardo. Ricciardo went into the back of Valtteri and spun him out. There was loads of other little incidents. Max ended up winning by like 15 seconds, I think it was, in the end. So again, it wasn't an absolute barnstormer, but it was an alright race. It was an alright last year, and you know what? I like the track. I actually really like the Mexico GP circuit. Oh God, no. Yeah, no, that was there was a lot of shunts at the start, but yeah, it's. I do wonder with these cars. Look, I know we've said this a million times before, right? But obviously, these cars kick off a lot less dirty air than the 2021 cars. Now, when the air is also thinner, you've got to think, yes, there's no DRS, but does the logic add up that the car should be able to like race even closer together than normal? Even more so with these new cars that kick up less dirty air, plus less air anyway. So there's less air to make dirty, so therefore, so I'm optimistic, you know. I'm optimistic. But yeah, less drag for everyone. It's true. I guess it kind of goes both ways, doesn't it? Because then your slipstream is less powerful. I think yeah, slipstream is less powerful, but I think you'll be able to follow closer in the corners. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think Williams are going to have a bad time. Did you know I'm actually an aerodynamicist, Vishek? But yeah, look, I mean, it's hard to look past Red Bull, isn't it? It is hard to look past Red Bull. But we'll see, won't we? We'll see, won't we? Obviously, last night I put out a poll, as I typically do, to look for your predictions. Driver of the weekend, race winner. And there's not many surprises here. There's not many surprises. 37% of you think Checo Perez will be driver of the weekend, and 40% of you think he's going to win the race. Come on, the manifestation is strong here. The manifestation is strong. Obviously, only 20%. I haven't had to take Max out of the race winner graphic for so long. It's been so many weeks since I haven't had Max as race winner. But yeah, Vettel getting up there as well, 20% of the vote, and Vettel getting in drive of the weekend ahead of Alonso. Let people believe, you know. Aston Martin 18% of the vote as well for team of the weekend, so they're having a good end to the year. Look, there's some hopium, Darren. I agree, right? Evan as well, but like, let the people believe, you know. Let the people believe. And yes, unfortunately for Daniel, struggle of the weekend was quite convincingly, which I guess obviously he had a really poor, like objectively he had a really bad race in Austin in terms of pace, just nowhere. So I understand, yeah, I understand why people don't have too much faith. And obviously, yeah, Russell getting in there with 12%. Russell's a really, I'm really looking forward to reflecting on this season as a whole, because George had such a good start to the season. But actually, I realised, so he's been out qualified by Lewis. In the last 11 races, he's been out qualified by Lewis 10 times. 10. Since Mercedes has stopped faffing around with Lewis's like weird setups, and like he's been actually dunking on George in quali 100%, and in races I feel like he's also had the advantage. So yeah, that's going to be something interesting to reflect on. So apparently Minton's running around the garden at my mum's. He's happy and healthy. Beginners, like, I think there's more to it than that. But it's interesting now that we're at the end of the season. And again, obviously, you know, cause for me, actually, I'll stick a poll up. Because we're almost at the end of the season now. How have the 2022 regulations met your expectation? Oh, that rhymes as well. 2022 regulations met your expectations. Exceeded, met, or disappointed? Boom. Right. What do you think? The radio. Because the field spread, I can't remember what race it was. I'm not sure if it was Singapore or maybe Suzuka. It was like a few races ago. And I remember in Q1, the entire field spread was like 2 seconds. Now, you don't have to go that long. You don't have to go that far back, sorry. Until like you're getting like 5-6 seconds field spread. So I actually think, given this is the first year of the regulations, it's an interesting split as well. So 66% of you currently have said met, and then it's a pretty equal split between exceeded and disappointed. To be honest, given my expectations, because again, if you had high expectations, then it might have come under. If you had low expectations, it might have gone over. My expectations, I feel, were pretty measured, because whenever you go into a new set of regulations, historically in Formula One, it spreads the field, and then gradually the teams start to consolidate as the best designs get kind of refined and copied, basically, until everyone's kind of got a similar car. I think given the fact this is the first season of the new regulations, I'm in the 16%. I would say they've exceeded mine, to be honest. And I think part of the reason why, because there was always Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes with their head start that they could make in 2019, having all this money at the time and no cost cap back then, they were always going to be at the top. It was always going to happen. And the fact, yes, I know obviously there's only been one, non-top 3 podium with Lando Norris. But again, first season in new regulations, I was expecting it to not be as competitive as last year. I think last year we were really we were spoiled. Last couple of years, to be honest, like 21 and 20. But yeah, it was, exactly, Alex. It was nice to see cars with different philosophies, but they're going to converge. It's going to happen. There's going to be a certain way that's going to be the best way that the teams will eventually get to. And obviously, look, 2026 is obviously new engine regulations. We don't know if the cars aerodynamically will change, perhaps. But it'd be interesting. But yeah, I think we need to wait a couple more years before I'm very confident that next season we will see way more diversity on the podium in terms of McLaren more often, and Alpine more often, hopefully maybe an Aston Martin or any team, to be honest. Hopefully Albon in a Williams, that'd be sick. I'm not holding my hopes out, don't worry. Sorry, I almost killed myself with my own copium. But yeah, we'll see. So, all in all, only 18% of you have said you've been disappointed. So I think all in all, they've done the job. And I think if Ferrari hadn't bottled so many opportunities from their point of view, and there's been a few mistakes from Charles, high-profile ones, I think this title decider is probably going to at least Brazil. But has anyone... This is a question, actually. I saw my mate Kerry yesterday, and was saying that... Shout out Kerry if you're watching. And he was saying that... Has anyone actually worked out if you get rid of... So if Charles converts whatever his result probably would have been at Imola, at France, at Suzuka, plus Monaco, and all the other times Ferrari cocked up on strategy, what his result probably would have been. Has anyone worked out how many points he'd have relative to Verstappen? Because obviously then Verstappen, some of those occasions would have got fewer points. Baku as well. Has anyone actually done that? Because if they haven't, then I would do it. But has Scott done it? I don't think I've seen that video. Because obviously, yeah, you've got to then take away points from, yeah, WCF one. Because I know they've done, I don't know. I'll have a little research over the weekend, and if, in terms of adjusting Max's points as well. But yeah, we'll see. Spain also, yeah, Baku, Barcelona, yeah, that's fair. I don't want to do the same video someone else has done. I was just interested, going into like this race, I guess. Charles by 60 points, Max by 30 points. I mean, which one is it? But yeah, I think at the end of the day, Red Bull still would have won. Like, still would have won the championship regardless. I still think, you know, Max would have had enough in that Red Bull for sure. But I do also think that this season will be looked back as a dominant season. But, and I guess it kind of, at the end of the day, right, if you're looking at the drivers, I think Max has clearly done a better job than Charles, but I don't think he's dominated Charles. But Red Bull have dominated Ferrari, like in terms of, and then I guess it's like, do you separate the drivers from the team? Because the team are just as the driver is just as much part of the team as anyone else. Yes, they have a bigger role to play, but they're still part of that team. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm waffling now. Right, I'll end that poll. Okay, cool. So, going into this weekend again, hopefully it's a blinder. Hopefully something mad happens. Hopefully Checo wins the race. That would be chef's kiss. But let's talk about Audi. It was confirmed yesterday that Sauber will become the Works Audi Formula One team from 2026, which is exciting. And we know that they're developing an engine first. We know that the Alfa Romeo Sauber deal will last till the end of next year. So in 2024, 2025, those 2 seasons, the car will probably be, we're not sure, I guess, whether it's going to be like, it won't officially be the Audi F1 team until 2026, but then 2024, 2025, it will just be Sauber, as far as we know. But there's no reason why it wouldn't be Sauber Audi, I guess. I reckon it's Sauber Audi for 2024, 2025. They'll have a, hopefully, like, because Sauber have had some really cool liveries in the past, chuck one of them on, and then have the Audi, obviously it'll have an Audi engine in it at some point, but it's not going to have the Audi engine. Is it the Audi? It's the Audi engine from 2026, yeah. So it'll probably, yeah. I mean, mate, because maybe they'll do, again, the Alfa Romeo deal is literally just a title sponsorship. So maybe they would do, but then they'll still have a Ferrari engine, because Sauber are keeping the Ferrari engine until 2026. Then Audi will put their engine in it, the new engine that they've built. So yeah, maybe it will just be an Audi in name, but then it will still have a Ferrari engine. So I'm not really sure how they'll feel about that. Yeah, no Audi branding until 26 as Ferrari engine. Yeah, maybe. I guess Alfa Romeo are quite happy to have their name associated with Ferrari because of the Ferrari engine, whereas Audi, because they want to make their own engine, it might just be Sauber. I'm interested to see what that car's going to look like. Maybe that should be a livery redesign that I do. Designing what I think the 2024 Sauber is going to look like taking a classic Sauber livery and putting it on this new generation of car. It could be cool. Yeah, the race did do a video, didn't they? Yeah, which I did watch it in the background. How many names are Sauber? Yeah, Sauber have been like, I put this tweet out yesterday, you know, since, 2007, 2008, they were insane. They had Heidfeld and Kubica in the car. They were second and third in the constructors. Amazing. When they had the BMW money and the support. But since 2009, they've not finished higher than P6 in the constructors. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 14 years. Dex, how do you not know this background music? Come on. Come on. But yeah, considering their resource, they've had financial troubles. Look, unfortunately, part of running a successful F1 team is keeping on top of the finances. Now, you know, given their resource, given their, not so much their resource because they've been down on money, but given their facility, it's been such a shame that they've just consistently been mid, basically. But hopefully, this Audi injection, and it will make, I mean, 100%, an Audi Works F1 team is a way more exciting prospect than Sauber. I'm sorry, it just is. And obviously, all the personnel there is still going to be at Himwell. So, you know, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm excited to see another team get that real opportunity to jump up, you know what I'm saying? Sauber Orlen. That's a good point, Aaron. Obviously, with Kubica still there. Still there as a reserve driver. That would make sense. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see how this plays out, for sure. Do you think Haas will... Well, interesting you say about Haas. So Haas have... I saw an article this morning saying that this money... what's it called? MoneyGram? Is it MoneyGram? I've forgotten. What's it? It is MoneyGram. I was like, I think it's MoneyGram, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it's MoneyGram. So that should push them up to the cost cap, which is pretty good for Haas. Look, the more teams we've got at the cost cap, not over the cost cap, Red Bull, at the cost cap. Yeah, really. That's what... Well, because I'd heard from fairly reliable sources that they were operating at around the $110 million area. So about 35 mil short of the cost cap. So MoneyGram, plug in that gap. Boom. Boom. I wonder if that changes their perspective on the Schumacher, the future of Schumacher at that team. I do wonder. But I still think that... actually, I'm going to ask you, who do you... I'm not asking you who you think they should go for. Who do you think they will go for? Who do you think Haas will pick? So I don't care about your opinion, okay, on who should get the seat. But who do you think they will actually pick? That's the question. Even if you think they would be wrong to do so, who do you think Haas will pick? Because I think they will pick Hülkenberg and Ricciardo. I'm sorry, I've not given that as an option, Angus, because, I mean, if that was going to happen, we would have heard more about it. Yeah. Who do you think Gunter and Jean are going to pick? My mic's not off, Tierney. Good try though, mate. I appreciate the shithousery, you know. No, because I think both clearly, and you're going to see why. Basically, let's just say that tomorrow's video is involving one of these drivers, and I've already done a video quite recently about one of them. So I don't know. What could be? I ain't got a clue. Hello, Dylan. Oh, mate. Sorry. Well, if I wasn't so busy today, I would have probably done this stream later in the day. So, we'll do that next time for you, Dylan. All right. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what Haas do. Is there anything else really to talk about? I don't think any suggestions in chat. Ricardo better than Hulkenberg and Schumacher. Oh, Blake. I mean, that's a given. I'm sorry, it is. If he's not in that McLaren, just get him out of that McLaren. Gio would make more sense. I mean, Gio didn't exactly drown himself in glory, did he? Shunting 7 minutes into his FP1 session. Oh, Gio, that was tough. That was tough. JB, Sargent to Williams. Yeah, you know, I've repped Sargent. I'm chuffed for him. I think it puts a bit of pressure on him going into this final race. You know, it would take some mathematical shenanigans for him to not end up in the top 7. As long as he gets P7 by the end of the season, he's currently P3. He would need to lose 10 points relative to Daruvala, Doohan, and Fittipaldi, and 14 points, I think, to Lawson, and like 18 points to Vesti. All of those things would have to happen for him to not finish in the top 7. The top 7 if he doesn't get any points on his super license this week at Abu Dhabi as well. Yeah, Jack doing FP1 for Alpine. That's true. That is true. Piastri's been locked in the basement. You will not come out. You will stay in the basement. You know what? Like, given, I know it's petty from Alpine, but I do kind of get it, because at the end of the day, their main rivals at the moment are McLaren. That's who he's going to. These little sessions are going to give Oscar a little bit more seat time to get used to the car. So, of course, Alpine are going to go full villain mode and not let him do FP1s in the McLaren or FP1s in their car. Of course. Lauren Rossi, he's really not he's not sold himself particularly fondly to me during his fairly short time in the sport so far. Let's just say that. Yeah, Andretti's still talking about F1. It's true. That shunt was not the Jesus, man. Yeah, you've got Pietro Fittipaldi doing some Haas FP1s as well, haven't you? Later in the year. Expectations for Doohan? Not sure. I think obviously the grid from next year onwards. I mean, look, it takes one bad season. It takes one bad season to like massively knock your stock price, you know? Like, there's loads of drivers. If they have a really bad 2023, they're gone. Like, for example, right, Max Verstappen could afford to have a shocking 2023 and keep his seat and be okay, right? But there's loads of drivers. Obviously, Sargent, Joe, Sonoda, I mean, Schumacher if he stays, even like something like a K-Mag, like I feel like most drivers, more than half of the drivers on the grid, if they had a shock in 2023, they could lose their seat, and that's what a driver like Doohan needs to rely on: someone having a shocker to give him an opportunity to come in. Oh yeah, Nick is doing FP1. He's another driver, obviously. Yeah, it'll be his rookie season in F1. If he has a shocker 2023, then who knows? It'd be interesting to see Nick doing FP1. It's exciting for him. Have they just announced that, by the way? Or are you just telling me news that's already knocking about? I'm assuming that's already knocking about because I can't see anything on Twitter. But yeah, any chance of Latifi tap? No, there isn't. Pants or shorts? Well, I'm British, so I wear pants underneath my shorts because that means a different thing over here. Yes, it is Gran Turismo music. It's like, why wouldn't I use Gran Turismo music? Right, okay, cool. I think we're done. I've got a busy day today, so I'm not going to waffle for too much longer, but thank you all for coming. Thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoy this weekend's Mexico City Grand Prix. New video out tomorrow. It's already done, but I'm going to save it for tomorrow. Just because 2 videos on the same day, I don't think does much to support the algorithm. So I'll probably put it out in the morning. So keep your eyes on your sub boxes. Make sure you like the stream and notification bell, so then you'll be notified when my video comes out. So hit the bell. Do it. But yeah, cheers everyone for coming. Thank you all, and I will see you on watch the video tomorrow. I'll see you on Monday for the post-race debrief. I also need to get my car MOT'd on Monday as well. I don't know why I told you that, but there you go. Right, cheers everyone.